The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to our weekly webinar. So I'm going to show you the main features of Front. Here on the left, you have all your shared inboxes. So they can be SMS shared inboxes or Twitter or email inboxes. So for example, here we have bugs at Front App and founders at Front App and team at Front App here. Here you have your teammates. When you set up your account, you will just define who in your team has access to what inbox and who is an admin, who is a normal user. Once you've done that, you're all set up. Now, how does it work? Every time you receive a new email, so for example, a new email on team at, this number will increase and the inbox will turn bold. So here, 1 hour ago, I received this email. The first thing I'm able to do is to assign it to the right person in the team, meaning this person is in charge of replying to it. So if I assign it to Laurent, for example, this email will go in Laurent's inbox, so just here. If I assign it to me, it will go in my inbox. If you want to have an internal discussion about this email, you can comment it. So comments are only visible by your team. So you're able to type something, and if you want to mention someone specifically in your team, you will just select the person you want to mention, and this person will receive an email notification saying that she or he has been mentioned in this comment. Everything is in real time, so if someone is commenting or someone is replying, you'll be able to know it. If you want to archive this email, just click here. If you want to delete it, just click here. If it's a spam, click mark as spam. If you want to organize these emails better, just tag them, and then you'll be able to find the tags here at the bottom of the first pane. If you want to deal with this email later, just snooze the conversation. So if you snooze it in 2 days, it will come back in your inbox in 2 days. By default, when you are in a shared inbox, the filter is unassigned, but you can change that to open meaning not archived and not deleted, or assign, or whatever you want. So that's what happens when you receive an email. Either you archive it or you assign it, you can comment it, snooze it, and tag it. Now, if you reply to an email, there are a few things you are able to do. First one is you can create predefined answers and choose one so that you don't need to type it over and over. The way to create canned answers is by going in your settings and click here on responses and then new canned response. You just give it a name, you type it here, you choose some formatting options, and you're all set. If you want to share this draft with your team, you can click here on share, and then you can, for example, mention someone in your team to review this draft before you send it. Of course, you can attach files, and if you want to have more formatting options, you can just click here. It will open the email in a new window, and that way you will have here more formatting options. When you send it, you can set up a reminder. So if you've set up a reminder in 2 days, it means that if the person has not replied to your email, the conversation will come back in your inbox in 2 days and you'll get a notification here. So here is your notification center. That's all the information related to you. Whether someone mentions you in a comment, or you're reminded of a conversation, or something happened in a conversation you're following. So let's talk about follow. You can, if you click on this bell, follow conversation. What it means is it will go in your following section here, and you'll be notified of things happening in the conversation, new emails, new comments, etc. So when you connect on the app, there are basically two things you need to look at. First, your inbox to see all the conversations assigned to you and all the new emails that you received, and following here just to see what's happening in the conversation you follow. If you need to search for a specific conversation, you can use the search here. You can just type a word that you're looking for, or if you click on plus, you have more modifiers. So for example, you can look for a conversation with attachments and assign to a specific teammate. So that's the inbox view. That's where you have all the new email that arrive, all the email that you need to handle, and all the conversation your teammates are working on. You can change this view to activity. So activity is an activity log of everything happening on the platform. You can filter this activity here. So for example, if you just want to see the comments that have been made or the assignments that have been made or all the conversations that have been archived, you would just click the one you want. Then if you want to filter for a specific inbox or two specific inbox, that's also something you can do. And if you want just to filter by people, that's where you can do it. So here I've got all the comments that have been made in founders at and team at by me. The last view is analytics. So if you click on analytics, you'll get a few data about how your team is doing. So you can choose in what inbox you want analytics, plus what the time range is, and whether you want analytics by teammates or by tags. So let's take teammates. Here, for every teammate, I can know the number of conversations assigned to this person. I can know the average number of messages per conversation, the first response time, the average response time, and the handle time. If you want to know more about how these data are calculated, you can go on our FAQ and there is an article related to it. If you want to have analytics about the tags that you're using, you would just click tags, and that's how you know the number of conversations tagged with a given tag on a specific period. If you want to look at the previous week, you would just click on the arrow here. So go back to the main view. Here are the tweets that you've received. So how Twitter works is that every time your company is mentioned in a tweet, you'll get a new conversation. So here you can see that Front has been mentioned. Now it's working exactly the same. You can assign, you can comment, you can reply, retweet, and favorite. Over time, if you want to personalize the interface with data that you have in your own database or software that you use, we have plugins that enable you here to display more information about customers. For example, if I go here and there, I can know the number of sessions that this person has made on Front, the number of comments that he has written, the number of mentions, and the number of messages he has sent. So you can customize that exactly the way you want. If you want to use keyboard shortcuts, just click here and we'll display all the keyboard shortcuts that we have. You can have the full list here. They are basically the same as the Gmail shortcuts. If you have any question, just click here on the interrogation mark and you'll be able to ask us a question. The range is how to access your settings. In your settings, you can define what your profile is. One important feature in this profile tab is whether you're available or not. If you're out of office, if you're going on holidays, just set yourself as unavailable, and that way, all the new conversations that arrive and that are assigned to you will go in the shared inbox and will be made unassigned so that someone else can reply to it. When you come back, make sure to set yourself as available again. You can choose the exact way you are notified about things happening in front. You have two kinds of notifications, desktop notifications and email notifications. So for every kind of action, for example, a contact sends a new email, you'll be able to decide whether you want desktop notification, email, or both, or none of them. Signature, that's an important part of your settings. When you create your account, you can create your signature. I'm editing it right now. That's where you change it. There is also your sender info that you can define. The sender info is what people see when you're writing an email from front. So you can decide to have the name of your company or your first name or first name and last name. Everybody can decide. If you want, you can have several signatures and decide what signature you want per inbox. Now your team. That's where you can see all your teammates. If you want to add a new teammate, just click here on add a new teammate. For each of them, you can define whether they are an admin or not. So an admin has the ability to add a new inbox, to delete an inbox, to add a new teammate, to delete a teammate, and to see analytics. When you add a teammate, you can define to what inbox this person has access. Now, your inboxes. So inboxes can be Twilio, Twitter, or email. If I click on one inbox, you're able to choose the color of this inbox, who has access to it, and you can also access advanced settings. There are three things you are able to define in the advanced settings. First, by default, we auto-assign conversation when you reply to an email. It means that if you have a new email and you reply to it, it will be automatically assigned to you. And then if someone replies back, it will go in your inbox and it will skip the shared inbox. If you want to change that and every time you get a new email, it doesn't go in your inbox, but always in the shared inbox, you would turn that off. Second option is to automatically BCC all outgoing emails. Most of the time, people do that either to have a backup of their emails or to link front with an existing software that they use, for example, a CRM. Last option is to send your email through a custom server. So when you sign up on front, add a new inbox that is not a Google Apps user inbox. We will use our own provider, but that's something you can change just by clicking here. Responses are the canned answer that we mentioned earlier. Tags are the tags we mentioned earlier too, but here in your settings, that's the place where you can define in what inbox these tags appear, just there. Rules are a way to automate actions that you perform in the app. So if you click on New Rule, you can name a rule. You can define conditions, for example, a condition on the subject of the email, another condition on the recipient of this email, and maybe another condition on the body. You can decide whether all these conditions should be met or at least one. And then based on these conditions, define what to do. So you can automatically assign an email to a teammate. You can reply automatically. For example, every time you receive an email, you reply, "We've received your email and we'll get back to you in the coming 24 hours, for example. You can also automatically tag conversation. And a nice feature is to be able to assign randomly to people. So when you assign randomly, you will just choose the person you want to assign randomly to. So for example, 3 person. And that way, every time you get a new email, it will be randomly assigned to these 3 people. And then you would just click on add role. Integrations are a way to integrate front with other softwares. If you're using Slack or HipChat, you can be notified in those tools about things happening in front. If you want to use our webhook to send information wherever is convenient for you, you can do it too. Plugins is what I mentioned earlier, where you can display in the app more information about your users, and billing is where you can upgrade or downgrade your account. So the three features that you have on the premium account and you don't have on the standard plan are: first, the access to the analytics; second, the access to the API, so integrations and plugins; and last, the rules that enable you to have automated workflows. And here is how you sign out. So I think I gave you a quick idea of how Front works. If you have any question, you can just click here on your app or send us an email on team@frontapp.com and we'll get back to you. Also, if you need another demo of the app because you have more questions about how it could fit in your current workflow, feel free to send us an email too. Thank you.